of Team Silicon City Academy, I extend a warm welcome to one and all. Silicon City Academy of Secondary Education is located in serene, green environment in the southern part of bustling city of Bengaluru, India. Our school is distinctive for an infrastructure which conforms to international education standards. We believe in offering students the very best of integrated learning experience and facilities in a holistic manner. Along with academic excellence, sports and co-curricular activities are given equal importance. No wonder our school has been ranked number one top CBSE schools parameter-wise for holistic development by Education Today India Merit Awards 2020. At Silicon City Academy, education is an experiential, holistic, integrated, character-building, inquiry-driven, discovery-oriented, learner-centered, discussion-based, flexible, and best of all, joyful experience. A parent is a teacher at home, and a teacher is a parent in school, and the child is the center of our universe. As you know, like everything else, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted the education sector significantly. It has altered the way education will be imparted from now on. For the past 15 years, our school has been in the forefront in adopting innovative strategies and latest technology in the field of education. Today, it's no different. From the day lockdown was announced, our team has been working tirelessly, employing all resources to ensure that our children get the very best of virtual learning experience. It gives me immense pleasure to share with you all Creativity During Pandemic, a unique success story.
Creativity is the ability to create something new, something unique. Creativity is about a limited amount of input and unlimited output. At Silicon City Academy, we use creative ideas that are fun, fast, and free. We begin each day with a quick activity or exercise on creativity. Example, teacher selects an object and asks students what else it could be, or what else it could be used for, or what it can be turned into, etc. For example, a teacher's desk can be flipped upside down and turned into a boat, etc. These activities instill creativity in our students. As a part of co-curricular activities, we have conducted various activities: show and tell, Little Master Chef, science magic, album making, fun with science, crazy hat making, to name a few. Children are budding stars. The more you embrace them, the more they shine. Young Siliconians enthralled everyone with their breathtaking performances.
The COVID-19 pandemic resulted in an abrupt change in the routines and various other activities around the world. It's hard not having that human contact with the children. We were successful in channelizing students' boundless energy into creative pursuits. Various art forms were integrated with different subjects and languages. Children at Silicon have the freedom to express the learned concepts through various art forms. Videos related to the topic were shared earlier to the students, and the classroom time was effectively utilized for discussion and exploration for better concept clarity. Flipped classroom gives scope for independent working skills and makes students more self supporting.
Failure is an integral part of learning, but in the classroom, it tends to be a source of shame and embarrassment. However, if you have seen a 12-year-old constantly replaying a video game despite countless game over screens, you will know games change the dynamic. They don't just make failure seems okay, they also make it a part of the fun. Gamification in education has the same benefit. Gamification encourages students to reattempt learning tasks without embarrassment. During this pandemic, we wanted to break the monotony in the classroom. We strive to make learning more interactive and engaging. This is what augmented reality technology does. It helped teachers to get the attention of students in no time and also increase the engagement levels as well. So here we have used AR in classroom to build circuit and test, plot and evaluate VI graphs to derive and state Ohm's law, which was a great substitute for the actual lab. We also used PhET interactive simulations to balance the chemical equations by adding the coefficient to the skeletal equations, thereby gaining the mastery over it with a lot of fun. Benefits of using this gamification and AR includes increased content understanding, physical task performance, collaboration, and student motivation, and so on.
2020, a year like no other. Empty classrooms and vacant corridors in our school. But one thing kept us awake all through 2020 is how do we ensure learning does not stop in our school? Technology helped us and learning did not stop. So, what next? What is our next normal? What will learning look like 2021 onwards? Of course, it won't be anything as 2019 studying at school, and certainly not as 2020 studying at home either. It will probably be a blend of both enabled by the power of technology. Children will go to school with a smile on their face and they will also have a learning experience from and through technology. Not breaking, but blending the walls of classroom and home under the human connect. Blended learning, the way future will learn going forward. At Silicon City Academy, we will be blending the boundaries of school and home as we are committed to bring a radical transformation in learning.
In this pandemic, teachers have shown great leadership and innovation in ensuring that learning never stops and no learner is left behind. Along with students' creativity, teachers' creativity was also at its best. Team Silicon City have to be commended for working round the clock, bringing in the best virtual experience, Waves, digital magazine. Click on the link to view the same. With the launch of the new National Education Policy 2020, we are at the cusp of huge transformation and about to participate in and witness path breaking changes in the way we learn, the way we teach, and the way we build capacities of educational stakeholders. At Silicon City Academy, our primary goal for our students is to promote learning, inspire them to bring out their best, and help them to become productive members of the community. To fulfill our goal of developing successful students, we are committed to work with all our stakeholders in planning and building a school community where students strive as they enhance their learning capabilities. When we build knowledgeable, empathetic, productive, and contributing citizens, we are engaging in nation building. We at Silicon City are committed to become the architects of vibrant school education that ensures development of unique potential of each learner and to provide a safe and stimulating learning environment.
One of the great challenges in this world is knowing enough about a subject to think you're right.
Hello everyone, this is Effie Baksavana. I am a music teacher, author and global educationist. I have created and applied a parenting teaching method called Let's Play Boomwalkers, Learn English through Music and Play. My method has been used with great success at schools all over the world, primary schools, kindergarten, nursery schools, English schools, special education schools, university and educational institutions. During the pandemic, I have accomplished over 150 online sessions. One of the biggest concerns I had was how I will continue to engage my children and keep an eye on their progress through distance. So this means that I had to focus on what really matters the most. I had to prioritize the creation of an open and clear channel of communication with both children and parents. Relationship with parents is very important, especially nowadays that we are teaching virtually. So teacher and parent are a team. Music sets off emotional responses and kickstarts creativity. So music education is very important for children because children benefit so much in so many ways. So my concern was for children not to give up on the great impact and the benefits that they gain through music. Teaching online means simplicity and communication. Get the right digital learning platform, choose the right tools and stick to them. Keep the technology simple. It's okay to be stressed because we were not all being born experts in technology. Practice and study for personal improvement. Good planning and organization is always important. Start with procedures just like in the classroom. Keep to a regular schedule. Begin or end with a song. That's what I do. I begin with a good morning song and I end the session with a goodbye song. It's good for children to know what to expect when they get online. Set daily and weekly goals. Say, for example, today we are going to learn the colors of the boomwalkers, and by the end of the week we will be able to arrange the boomwalkers in the order color given above. Be flexible with children. Don't ask more than they can give. Provide clear expectations. Children can learn more when they know the goal of the lesson and can see how the activities are aligned with skills and ideas we expect them to master. So it is very important to give clear and solid examples. What do I really mean with all these? So I say to the children that today we are not going to use the boomwalkers as musical instruments, we're not going to play a song, but we are going to use them as music kinetic material. We are going to start with simple movements on our body, then we're going to go on with more complicated movements, and finally we are going to put on music and carry out what we have learned. So we can start with simple movements like tapping the boomwalkers on our palm, on our knee, on our shoulder, on our foot, front and back, back and front. And then we can do a more complicated movement like tapping on our palm, tapping on the floor and turning around. We can also use the boomwalkers and compare them with a rhythm activity. We can tap the boomwalkers and say, where else can we tap them? We can tap them front, we can tap them back, we can tap them left, right, side by side, and so it goes on. So these kinds of activities are a very, very easy way to engage the children in front of the camera. And believe me, that is the most important thing that we have to cope with. So I keep my activity short, and the most important is that I want my children to keep on moving. I don't want them to sit in front of the camera and just look at me or just listen at me. I want to keep them moving, I want them to be active, I want them to take part in all the session. So that really means that I mustn't forget to keep my energy up. Many times when we do an activity and the kids get a little bit frustrated, a little bit tired or bored, and it's okay, especially when we have to do with young learners, it's okay to change the activity and do something else. We can even take breaks. It's okay to take breaks sometimes. So as I said, I like doing my sessions interactive and accessible, mini lessons with active learning, and keep children motivated and moving forward. I also like having my children to be presenters and present a project in the online class. I always establish clear guidance for children collaboration, and I create a sense of community by encouraging them to engage in online discussion, which is also very important nowadays that we are teaching virtually. When we finish the session, I always leave a little bit of time, for discussion, reaction, comments, whatever the children feel like doing. So, now I will give you some examples of what exactly do I mean by the things I said above. So, now I have here the red boom marker, the yellow and the green. So what do? I divide my children into 3 teams, the red team, the yellow team and the green team. Each time I show the red boom marker, then the team with the red boom markers has to tap its boom marker. The same with the yellow and the same with the green. I can even combine the colors, so we can have the red and the yellow boom markers tapping, or the yellow and the green boom markers tapping. They can even tap both 3 teams together. I can also combine the tapping with the speech and the movement, which is very important. What do I mean? I can say that the red boom marker has to tap and say, I want an orange. I want an orange. The yellow team will say, Effie wants an orange. Effie wants an orange. And then the green team will say, do you want an orange? Do you want an orange? And so it goes on. I also divide the children into 2 groups, the loudly group and the softly group. So I do have made cards with the signs of L, which means loudly, and the S, which means softly. So when I show the L, the team with the L has to tap the boom markers loudly on the floor, and the team with the S has to tap the boom markers softly on its palm. And so it goes on. So in this way, these kind of activities, games, help children to concentrate, to cooperate, to take group decisions, even if we are teaching online. So through Let's Play Boom Walker's method, children could get creative through communication, collaboration and critical thinking. Another way that we can use the boom walkers is to play songs. Yes, not only games, activities, music kinetic, rhythms, but we can play a song. It's very easy to play a song because we don't need to read the notes, but all we need to do is use the colors. We have to tap the colors and the boom walkers according to the colors we have. So these kinds of activities are very easy for children to learn to play a song, even if they are very little. So when we finish the session, I ask for parents to send me videos with the children presenting what we have done on the session. So they send me videos with children playing songs with the boom markers, doing activities, tapping the boom markers with rhythm. And when we connect again with the children, what we really do is go through the videos and we discuss and combine the way that they play. So this is an activity, believe me, that the children really enjoy very much. Now, what about resources? It's very important to provide easy access to resources, so I always send material I have created for my method to the parents so they can use the material together with the children. Evaluate teaching using resources and use a variation of instructional methods. Fortunately, there are a lot of online free resources with games, activities, puzzles that we can use for children of all ages, and they can definitely help them with learning at home and they can keep their brain active. Now, teaching online doesn't mean that we have to change expectations. Keep the expectations high and just change the approach, change the way you are teaching. Provide immediate feedback through online knowledge. And very, very important, never forget to ask how the children are coping and how they have been up to. That means that we can make time to socialize with the children online, even if it's visual, because that is very important. Children have missed a stimulating and enriching environment, listening opportunities, and social interaction. I never forget to say how proud I am of the children, and I never forget to praise them every time for every effort they give. So since I have been teaching for over 20 years now, I have a motto. And my motto is, let's make education fun. Not only for children and kids, but for adults, because everyone loves to learn through fun and through play. So for me, what is really important and what really matters is the way we teach, is the method, is the strategy. So children learn when we teach with love, with passion and enthusiasm. So stay safe, take care, and thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Sumaryono and I am the director of Semio Regional Center for Kitab in Mathematics located in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. And in this great opportunity, I'd like to introduce you to our Deputy Director for Program, who is sitting right to me now, Dr. Farida Nur Hasana. Well, the Semio Regional Center for Kitab in Mathematics, usually shortened to SEKIM, focus on the quality improvement of mathematics teachers and education personnel in the Southeast Asian region, which comprise 11 countries, namely Brunei Darussalam, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos PDR, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Timor-Leste, and Vietnam. We are officially established in 2009 by the Southeast Asian Minister of Education Organization, or SIAMIO, an international organization to promote cooperation in education, science, and culture in Southeast Asia. Since its establishment, SEKIM has affirmed its commitment to nurture the quality of mathematics teachers and education personnel in Southeast Asia through training courses, research and development, workshops, seminars and symposium, and other related activities. Therefore, despite the big challenge of conducting activities during the COVID-19 pandemic, SEKIM has even been encouraged to take its role in promoting joyful and meaningful mathematics learning. We have made some adjustments and initiated some new programs to provide the needs of mathematics teachers and education personnel in Southeast Asia and beyond. What are they? Dr. Farida Nur Hasana will be pleased to share with you all.
It is a great honor for us to be here virtually in the celebration of Creativity and Innovation Day virtually in Finland, that is conducted by the Creative Council of Education Finland in collaboration with the UNESCO chairs of University of Jyväskylä. It is an opportunity for us to share our experiences in conducting professional development program for mathematics teachers in Southeast Asian countries, as well as to learn from all of you from around the world how to face the pandemic COVID-19 and also the post-pandemic in the futures. SEKIM has a mandate to promote teachings and learning mathematics in joyful and meaningful ways through various programs. Before the pandemic COVID-19, all our programs were conducted in offline mode. But here, because of the pandemic COVID-19, we need to transform our regular courses into fully online mode. One of the challenges for us were conducting peer teaching and real teachings in online mode. But finally, our teams could find the way how to conduct this in online mode and become the leader, especially conduct the peer teaching and real teaching on STEM activities. This difficult situation also for us to design an offline program that is safe to be conducted during the pandemic situations. Creatively, our teams has been solved this problem and we can successfully conduct STEM camp in offline mode, where one of the facilitators is Dr. Fenifesi gave his talk from Finland virtually in our offline STEM camp. This pandemic COVID-19 also opened broader opportunity to SEKIMs to initiate many programs such as international webinar series that is conducted in collaboration with many experts from all around the world, such as Professor China Wilkerson from NCTM's, Professor Zotla Fiska from Johannes Kepler University, Dr. Alison Gradwickson from University College London, and also Dr. Van Bessie from Jyväskylä University. In addition, in this thoughtful time, SEACIM in a creative way still can conduct many research. First is the research about designing a module for STEM plus computational thinking. Secondly, the research of special education needs for mathematics curriculum. The third, research on mathematics regional-wide assessment. And then the fourth is the research on designing learning video on mathematics in collaboration with Dr. Masami Isoda from Cricket, Japan. This difficult situation has been a challenge for many of us as well as for SEACIMs. But these challenges at the same time also open an opportunity for us to do an innovation in a creative way to solve the real and contextual problems.
We wish you a successful celebration of United Nations Creativity and Innovation Day.
Hello, my name is Svetlana Belic-Malinic and I'm an academic director at the Institute for Contemporary Education, a member of Link Education Alliance located in Belgrade, Serbia. Hello from Serbia. I'm a teacher trainer, but also a lifelong learner, and I've been sharing my learning and teaching enthusiasm with so many people around the world. I ideated a lot of educational projects, some of them were deliverables at the state level, and I'm so very proud of that. Ever since I completed my PhD in international education at the University of Leicester, I've been a fierce advocate of creativity, creative teaching and creative thinking. Actually, my PhD thesis explored how teachers can reinvent their pedagogies, how they can sprinkle a little bit of creative ideas that emerged from peer collaboration and reciprocal coaching. I'm also a Cambridge International Specialist, an accredited program leader for Cambridge Professional Development Qualifications, where I help teachers think outside the box, think creatively, right? I help them reinvent their pedagogies, learn from their teaching experiences, distress and truly enjoy what they're doing. I'm so very grateful for such an opportunity. My pedagogical contributions have been greatly appreciated. I've been nominated for the Global Teacher of the Year Award. I'm also a recipient of John Haycroft Scholarship for Classroom Exploration, and I inspired teachers to think creatively, to teach creatively, especially in this region. Today, I'm here to inspire you. I'm here actually to take you on a quest. I'm going to show you a wonderful world of metacognitive creativity. Are you ready?
Tuplaa tyylisi. Älä tyydy vain tähän ilmeeseen. Tai kenties tähän. Ei, tuplaa tyylisi. Kahdet silmälasit ja näöntutkimus alkaen vain 59 €. Koskee myös aurinkolaseja.
A very wise man, the one who inspired me to talk about metacognitive creativity today, said that in our running national educational systems where mistakes are the worst thing you can make. And the result is that we are educating people out of their creative capacities. This is such a pity, isn't it? According to the World Economic Forum, upskilling and reskilling in the next 5 years will be a global demand, and creativity is one of the most important skills. In response to these trends, the 2022 PISA survey will place a great emphasis on the creative thinking and individuals' malleable ability to generate new ideas, not only to learning contexts, but also to the areas where the generation of ideas is necessary to explore issues, problems, or, society-wide concerns. But how does creativity work in the first place? Creativity involves putting your imagination to work. In a sense, creativity is applied imagination, holds Ken Robinson, who strongly believed in creativity as a changing paradigm. To think creatively, we generate ideas and let them incubate for a while. And while they're cooking, they will get sprinkled with inspiration before the aha moment known as illumination. With all these brilliant ideas in mind, we can now try them out and verify the application in reality. Key to creative thinking are questions, and Copernicus, Galileo and Kepler did not solve an old problem, they asked a new question, and in doing so they changed the whole basis on which the old questions had been framed. And when asking questions, you should try putting different hats on. You can change your perspectives and create new solutions to situations, issues or problems. Use these hats to bring creativity to your teaching. Teaching for creativity involves teaching creatively. There are 3 related tasks in teaching for creativity, and these are encouraging, identifying, and fostering. So, how to teach creativity? Would you use only the right side of your brain where creativity grows? What if you're not creative at all? There is no such thing as a creative type. We are all creative, every one of us. We just need a bigger definition of creativity. To teach creatively, simply put the hats on. Use any prompts around you to illuminate new paths to learning. Teachers who love teaching teach students to love learning. And to inspire them, show them where to look, but not what to see. Grow their minds, but also grow their hearts. Let your students tap into intrinsic motivation. Assign them tasks that they like to do enthusiastically. Let them embrace their choice and own that learning. Provide scaffolding along the way. Empower students to match the challenge level to their ability level. Try to minimize distraction, as this might help your students focus on their learning. And finally, encourage metacognition. But how does metacognition work? Metacognition is often an overlooked component of learning, yet it empowers students to learn planning and goal setting while monitoring their own progress. When challenged, they should put their hats on and assess the task, evaluating strengths and weaknesses, and plan how to proceed. While discovering alternatives to their learning strategies, they engage in creative thinking and let their ideas illuminate a path. And the more freedom and support they get along the way, the more creative they grow. Therefore, when creating tasks to foster metacognition, we have to think of how to balance challenge and skill levels. When we strike the right balance, the students are in the state of flow. They like what they do and they do it enthusiastically. They're happy, and happy students learn best. However, if the challenge level is at high and students somehow struggle with their skills, then we create learning anxiety, which is obviously not good. On the other hand, if there is a little challenge and students are quite skilled, they get bored. It is therefore important to inspire students to think about thinking and learn about learning. Students process metacognition in various ways. Tacit students are unaware of learning and quite indifferent to acquiring new knowledge. Students who are aware of metacognition might use some strategies such as, finding evidence or correlations, but their efforts are not deliberate or planned. Strategic students use high-order thinking skills to generate creative alternatives, but they do not learn beyond good grades. Reflective students go a step further. They are curious, inquisitive, and understand the value of evaluation and adaptation. Now they ask new questions and think outside the box. Sir Ken Robinson reminds us that learning happens in the minds and souls, not in the databases of multiple choice tests. Now that we understand how creativity and metacognition work, how to foster metacognitive creativity, now you want to inspire students to think about ways to bring about creativity and creative thinking. You want them to reflect about how to own creative ideas and follow their flow. First of all, assign tasks which are intrinsically rewarding. Then set clear goals and develop a sense of progress. Also make sure to provide clear and immediate feedback. Allow your students to own their learning and understand how personal control or agency affects the task. Help them understand what is going on and focus on how much they know now. So let's go back to the metacognitive cycle and see what it looks now with this kind of a creative thinking twist. So you would assess a task, but with a state of flow in mind. You would adjust challenge and skill levels to ignite intrinsic motivation and learning enthusiasm. You would use the 6 hats to evaluate your tasks and give them various perspectives. Then plan by incubating and illuminating ideas. Don't be afraid to let them swarm and buzz around. Use feedback when applying and adapt accordingly. Reflect on the progress and allow yourself to make mistakes. After all, they're part of the learning process. If you're not prepared to be wrong, you will never come up with anything original. Metacognitive creativity. What's your superpower?
A warm welcome from the task team to all those who have joined us today to be a part of this event. When COVID-19 hit us in March 2020, none of us in our wildest dreams had ever thought that this would dramatically alter the existing education system. While these unprecedented times led to all of us being physically cooped up, they also provided us with once in a lifetime opportunity to open the vistas of our mind and come up with innovative methods to suit the pressing needs of our online teaching and learning requirements. The journey was challenging, and thanks to the resilience and thoughtfulness of the team, we found ways and means to reinvent ourselves to fulfill our commitment to our learners, to nurture and empower them as they went ahead to attain their own personal goals. We could not have asked for a better teacher than the pandemic to instill in our student and teacher community the necessity to persevere in the face of setbacks and failures. The online mode has presented us with many vistas and platforms to strive towards our school mission that remains unchanged, to create an environment of joyful learning, to inspire a passion for excellence in our students, thus enabling them to achieve their full potential. None of this would have been possible without a strong set of core values that constantly guides us to uphold and strengthen our school culture.
At TAS, we believe that our core values act as a beacon to guide us in our day-to-day affairs and dictate how we perform, work, and conduct ourselves. All TASians are guided by the core values of independent thinking, integrity, nation building, empathy, and self-actualization, to name just a few. We strive to send out into the world independent thinkers who are courageous enough to make well thought through decisions without the fear of failure. The learners and facilitators work on their curiosities, nurture a positive mindset, and encourage them to take ownership of the task that they are working on. The school aspires to help every student harness their full potential as per their abilities while directing them towards excellence. We live in an increasingly independent world. TAS aims to send out into the world global citizens who can innovate, act responsibly, and work in harmony to embrace global competencies and challenges. We aim to teach and enrich an environment of compassion and peace. We firmly believe that individuals with an intrinsic reverence for life can be more successful problem solvers and change makers. We aim to push students to pursue their dreams and be empathetic enough to help disadvantaged citizens achieve their goals. We embraced the challenges that these unprecedented times have handed us. This pandemic has allowed us to introspect, evaluate, and modify our existing teaching, learning, and assessment practices to suit the need of the hour. I now invite my friends to shed some light on how we have worked our way through 2020-21. Thank you.
As all of us know, the academic year 2021 brought many challenges to schools, teachers, children, and parents, expecting them to adapt to new teaching method and learning in the conditions imposed by COVID-19 pandemic. Attending online classes has become the new normal for students. We ensured that our students enjoyed all the activities done during physical classes. Some activities that helped our children explore their creativity through homemade dough. They learned about counting while clipping cloth pegs to a scarf. They also learned about eating healthy, different types of fruits and its texture while exploring their creative side. They also learned the all too important virtue of cultivating patience while carrying out a planting activity.
Games and events enhance child's physical, social, cognitive, and emotional well-being. One of the events held was Fancy Dress, where children were dressed as their favorite food. It offered them a chance to use their imaginations, build vocabulary skills, and gain confidence. Experience of first virtual fun day was exceptional, as after a long time, children got an opportunity to play with their friends in this pandemic situation. Celebrations promote a feeling of oneness, cooperation, and understanding of our traditions and customs. Sharing few events that we celebrated this year. Indian Heritage Festival, that is Lord Krishna's birthday, Independence Day, and Traditional Day. Virtual tour of our school refreshed our students' happy memories. We brought on board to harmonize the ecological community where the parents and grandparents were hand in hand with us, as all the above wouldn't have been possible without their continuous support and suggestions.
Rangoli, the art of making freehand designs with colored powder, has been the domain of women. We have succeeded in breaking the stereotype with more boys taking part in it when we conducted the online Rangoli event to exhibit the creativity of our Tassians. Drawing and painting session, there is nothing more wonderful than the freedom of expression. Freedom not necessarily through words, but also through expressions. Drawing and painting sessions at TAS allow the students to express themselves. These skills and creations make our life more meaningful and help us see the world in a different way.
School assemblies provide the students opportunities to overcome their stage fear and enable them to enhance their confidence. Through assemblies, we at TAS try to inculcate moral and ethical values in them. The pandemic could not stop us from conducting online assemblies. The children, with the help and guidance of their parents, recorded videos at their respective homes. These were merged and presented before the audience. Christmas celebration was organized with fun and fervor. Carols were sung and Christmas stories were presented to bring out the true spirit of giving without expecting anything in return.
Conducting online exams were completely new for us as teachers as well as for the students. It was like surprise test where all of us, including students, had to perform well. Let's talk about the challenges faced by teachers and students. They both spend much of their time in front of a screen. For teachers, there were no scope for experiment with assessment method with students, and collecting answer sheets and evaluation of the same were a difficult task. Let's take a look on a student side. As they were unfamiliar with the tool, it made it difficult for them to understand and use the platform. During exams, they had to face internet issues and could not have fun with their friends. So now, how did we overcome those challenges? There were sessions conducted in our school within teachers to choose the right platform. We made recorded videos about these new platforms for both students and parents, which they actively took part in. In this process, students learned about new tools, they learned about self-motivation, making themselves disciplined, and being honest during exams.
With our teenagers, we had a lot of fun making facial masks at home. Our teenagers flew to different countries on the wings of their imagination. We had a few public speakers. They reveled at debates and declamation.
Our students hosted a Teachers' Day celebration and surprised us all. We did our lessons along with melodies played on the pakhavaj and the guitar. They also did projects on their favorite musical instruments. They enjoyed it all.
At the Academy School, the intention has always been to amalgamate the core values with the personality of every Tassian, such that it becomes a part of their existence, their entirety. We were proud to see Deshna Piyush Surana display the core value of empathy as she donated her hair to an NGO that creates wigs for cancer patients. Arnav Lad displayed the core value of self-actualization when he appealed to the people around him to be careful, mindful, and safe amidst the pandemic. Avika and her classmates displayed the core value of gratitude through their EVS projects. The grade 4 students were not limited by the pandemic when they displayed the core value of nation building through role plays when covering the topics of unity in diversity and mock parliament. This picture sums up the fortitude, innovation, and most of all, the resilience that each and every person at TAS cherishes. I hope our presentation was successful in giving each one of you a glimpse of the creative initiatives that we undertook in the most disruptive times that we have faced in our living memory. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for giving me such a wonderful opportunity. I have been working as a school librarian at the public elementary school in Japan for 12 years. I'm always thinking about Japanese education and how it compares to education abroad. I want to hear about education in other countries. In particular, I have heard that Finland education is wonderful. So, I am very glad with this invitation. For a long time, English education in Japan has focused on studying to pass exams. So many Japanese people are not good at speaking English. I'm also not good at speaking English. So I was worried about what to do about this invitation. But I decided to participate because I believe it's important to speak about Japanese education. That being said, I'd like to apologize if my English isn't up to par. Nevertheless, I hope you will enjoy my presentation. As I mentioned before, I want everyone to know about education in Japan, and I want to know about other countries and share ideas and thoughts with one another. I would like to talk about the educational activities we have conducted in Japan in this pandemic. I'm going to talk about the 2 months of lockdown and the school was closures. I'd also like to talk about the year of activities when the school started after the closures. The first basic idea of Japanese education policy is that children living in Japan have the same right to equal education. And secondly, Japanese education focuses not only on teaching knowledge and studying subjects, but also on character building as a person. So, based on that idea, we educators think about what we can do. Japanese schools were closed for about 2 months. The thought of teaching online occurred to us, but not everyone had the necessary equipment or internet access. Some children have personal computers while others do not. In families of working parents, the parents depend on their school to look after their children while they work. For children who can't eat lunch at home for whatever reason, school lunch is their salvation. Due to this potential imbalance, it wasn't a viable option to teach online. During the school closures, we made a time schedule. It was almost the same as the normal one. We did math, Japanese, science, social studies, art, PE, and so on. That's to maintain a basic lifestyle. The teachers wrote the study instructions for all subjects, printed it, and distributed it. The children studied based on these notes. Once a week, the children went to school for about 2 hours. It was possible to keep the connection between the teacher and the friend. During this time, the teachers could check the students' progress. To maintain a connection with the children, teachers also made video letters and sent messages. Now, I'm going to talk about what we've done once the schools have opened. We have thoroughly implemented preventive measures. Masks are mandatory. We make sure to ventilate and to social distance. Because of these preventative measures, we are able to provide the basic education policies I mentioned before, giving students the opportunity to receive education and fostering not only learning but also character building. It would have been easy to cancel special events, for example, school trip, sports day, festival, music festival, ceremonies, and so on. But we didn't cancel them. We made the appropriate changes and still held almost every event. The purpose of these special activities is to learn through experience, learning through communication, responsibility, cooperation, planning and thinking ability, sense of achievement, and how to deal with conflicts. In this way, in Japan, we always wonder what is the best for children in this tough situation. What should we do? There are risks, but not only are we afraid of risks, we are afraid what may happen if we don't take risks. Many smart minds came together to decide what should be done. Even now, the severe situation remains the same, but we are prioritizing the growth of children and engage in educational activities so as not to drop the quality of educational activities. We believe that this risk is worth taking. especially with all the precautions we have put in place. I look forward to hearing the other presenters. Thank you very much for listening.
If there's one thing we have learned during the pandemic is that the future will always surprise us. And that puts creativity and innovation so much at the heart of everything that we do. These days, education is no longer just about teaching students something, but about helping them develop a reliable compass and the tools to navigate with confidence through an increasingly complex, volatile, uncertain world. Success in education is about identity. It's about agency. It's about purpose. It's about building curiosity, opening minds. It's about compassion, opening hearts. And it's about courage, mobilizing our cognitive, social, and emotional resources to do something, to take action. And that's also going to be our best weapon against the biggest threats of our times now.